Welcome to the second episode of The More You Know. Last week we had Tyler with us and we were talking about some axles. This week we're going to continue talking about axles, but maybe some stuff you haven't considered before you purchase. Today we have Jose with us, but before we get there, roll the intro. All right, so tell us a little bit about yourself, Jose.
Okay, well, my name is Jose. I am a trailer parts expert here at TK Trailers. I've been in the trailer business for the past, I want to say, 8 years. Most of it in the manufacturing side of the business, and probably about 4 months ago, I've made the transition over to a sales expert here for TK Trailers.
So how does going from manufacturing, so I assume the welding, putting it together, putting the axles underneath, so you have the knowledge of how to actually build these, what are these little intricate parts are, how does that help with your sales, like actually talking to customers?
It helps because 9 times out of 10 the customer is sitting there looking at the trailer and trying to explain to me what he's looking at, and it helps because I've been there before. I know what he's talking about. You know, standing in front of a trailer and he'll tell me, hey, I need help. I'm looking at my trailer and it looks like my brake assembly went out. Okay, can you tell me how many lugs are on the trailer? That helps me determine if it's got 8 lugs on it. It's probably a 7K to 12K axle. If it's got less than that, then I can determine if it's got 5, it's a 3,500 pound axle. If it's got 6, it's either a 5,200 pound axle or a 6,000 pound axle.
So you have a lot of insight because of your time actually putting them together.
Correct.
That's awesome, and I like how you're kind of talking about the sizing of axles, because that's our topic today. You know, we're gonna be diving into some stuff. So last week I asked Tyler, hey, what if you get a different axle? Is that okay, or do you have to stick with what you have? And he explained that you can get a different axle, whether it's lower rated GVWR or higher. And so we're gonna be diving into some of that stuff today. So the first question I wanna ask you is, when looking at an axle to get replaced, you know what axle you want. What else should be considered to be replaced when you go to get that axle?
Well, if you're upsizing to a more sturdy axle, more capacity, 9 times out of 10, a lot of the hardware is going to have to be changed out of there, just because the bigger the axle gets, the bigger the tube diameter, which in turn you have to swap out the U-bolts, maybe the leaf springs, and some of the hardware that is welded onto the trailer.
So you're talking about some other things that need to be changed out, and that can be kind of hard to match up if you go to a couple of different suppliers or have to search a website and go back between windows and make sure you're getting what you need. What resources do we have available for customers that want to do this, that we offer to make it a little easier?
Well, here at TK Trailer Parts, we've got a wide variety of kits already assembled and put together for a customer. If he's gonna swap out his say he's going up to a heavier axle, we've got kits already pre-assembled that's got everything on there that he could possibly need. That way it can be a one-stop kind of deal.
We keep talking about upgrading the axle as in a heavier duty capacity. What happens if my trailer is a tandem, they're both 3.5Ks, so 7K trailer, I put 2 9Ks on there, or 2 8Ks. What do I need to do after the fact, after I get everything swapped out, buy it, installed? From there, what do I need to do? Is there anything with registration, insurance, anything like that?
Yeah, preferably it is, to my experience, it's in your best interest to go in, to your local department, Department of Public Transportation or whatever it is, and get your GVW swapped out. That way, if you're going down the road, DOT pulls you over, you won't get a ticket for being overweight, when in reality you ain't overweight, in your cargo that you got on your trailer.
So that's all contained in that little sticker on the driver's side of the trailer, usually on the neck or somewhere close to there.
It tells you your capacity of your trailer, each axle capacity, and all that good stuff.
Because the DOT officer isn't going to know that, oh yeah, I can look at these, tell it's, heavier duty axles. Yeah, this ain't 3.5K anymore. You're good to go. You're going to get the ticket, and then you have to fight that.
And then you have to fight that, exactly.
So we're talking about having to alter your registration, your insurance stuff, because of your weight limit that you can now carry. One thing that concerns a lot of people is, at some point, don't you have to get a CDL if you upgrade it to a certain point?
I think across the whole nation, if you're over the weight limit of 26,001 pounds, you're required by law to have a CDL to transport any type of cargo in the United States.
And also, if you're doing it professionally, you need one anyways.
Yes.
I know there's a lot of resources out there. There's a really great one. It's a DMV CDL course. They have a handbook from every state that you can look up. We'll link that in the description below so you have that reference. But I want to thank you for this time you took out of your day. I know sales is always busy and you have a lot of customers that love you and you work well with them. So thanks for taking the time today and joining us. And hopefully y'all enjoyed it. We'll catch you in the next one.
Hey guys, if this helped y'all out, if it answered any questions, let us know in the comments below. Also, if you have any questions, go ahead and ask them and hit that like button, hit the subscribe button, and we'll see you in the next episode. Thank you.